Chip, what's up,
Eric,
man? Thanks for sitting down with me.
thanks. New
to talk
series.
through the new series.
Yeah.
Yeah, Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
I have a button on my phone that's for that. Is this related to that in some way?
Yes.
Oh, how convenient.
Yes, it is related. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so the new series related to our personal devices.
Yeah.
So, okay, over these next 5 weeks,
5 weeks.
we're going to be talking about Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
So, what's the overall main idea of the series?
Yeah. Let me give you a little context.
Okay.
With that, I think. So, whenever I preach a message, I'm always, I'm in the mix there in thinking about me. This is something that I've been wrestling with for many months now. Is how do I deal with my device? So we talk about Do Not Disturb. It's not just about our phone. It's primarily about our phone, but it's about digital devices.
Okay.
So I'm going to make the case that I believe the biggest addiction of our day is swipe and click.
Okay.
Swipe and click is the biggest addiction of our day.
All right. Yeah.
I think I can make a pretty good case for
I
it.
have a feeling you will.
Swipe and click. And so we all wrestle with that, deal with that on our digital devices, whether it's a phone or an iPad or something like that, and the different types of media that come through that. And so for months, maybe even a year or so, been trying to really personally navigate that on how do I deal with my device. I can use it, for good or for bad with anything. And so I've been noticing I've been addicted to the swipe and the click. And so I've been thinking through that. Then I just been noticing it in other people. Everybody. No one is really exempt. Even the older
that's
people.
true. Yeah.
Even the older people today, when they're driving down the road and on their phone, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But and so I think this applies to all of us. This is a kind of series you'll love or hate, and it's a kind of series that you're going to think that someone else needs to hear it because you're annoyed by it. But at the end of the day, we all wrestle with it.
Yeah,
we all wrestle with it. So it's Do Not Disturb. That's the context, and the idea behind it is not encouraging people to get rid of their phones or to destroy their phones, but to manage and control their phones.
Okay.
Because you could use it for good, you could use it for bad. And I think, though, it's overtaken us. And I think we see it in other people and we don't see it in ourselves.
Yeah, kind of blind to it. Okay, so along that then, coming out of that, how should we be different, in 5 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to see kind of change in us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea that we're not mastered by anything except the Lord, that He's number one in our life, and that we master these things that we have at our possession that we could use for good. So I think, for me, it's that I've made some course corrections in my life in this area, but I'm also kind of going to do it live with the series.
Okay.
So hopefully every week or every other week, I'll be revealing some practical things that I'm working on, and then that you guys, the people in our church can also work on in their life. And so hopefully that the change will be you are setting boundaries when it comes to your digital devices. The amount of time, the energy, the swipe and the click, all that goes away, and that you're replacing it with things that put God first and impact other people. Yeah. And especially the important people in our life.
Cool. I like that you're modeling the change that you think we need to see. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful for you,
Yeah,
but it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm going to be a little vulnerable in things, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like as leaders, we got to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you do that, and it's very important that we do that. And hopefully it's going to be helpful. Again, not wanting people to destroy their phones, smash their phones, but to use their phones for God and for good.
Okay, so you talked a lot about control, and I think that's a big kind of focal point of the series is control, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
so
we're out of control.
Right, and I think, like you said, we don't want to be mastered by anyone but Jesus, right? Like we have no other master. So so where, and just, I know you're going to get into this in the series, but just give us a glimpse. Where have you seen this in your life this control issue? Where have you seen it in the lives of the people in the church, or both, or where do you see this control thing kind of happening, where we're controlled by these devices?
Yeah, so I've tried to turn off my phone, and that's going to be something we're going to go through in the series. That would be one of the applications. I've tried to do that, and I've done that, and I will do that. That is very hard for me. It might be not hard for you or somebody else, but to turn it off for an hour or two or half a day. I haven't tried a whole day yet, but to turn off my phone it shows my addiction. So what I'll do, it's off, I turn it off, but because of habit, I'll always go, and I swipe and I click. And I'm like, oh, it's off. That's right.
Man.
And I'll do that multiple times.
Yeah.
And even throughout my day, it's just my go-to. When I got like a stress thing going on, and whether it's a big meeting or changes, in the church or with leadership or sermon prep time can be stressful. If I don't have something, I need to get away. So I'll go and I'll swipe and I click. And when I take that away, it's like, it feels good, but you start like when you take away sugar, or if you take away, any kind of other addiction that you might be wrestling with, you have that withdrawal.
Yeah.
And it is really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
So, does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you've seen the control. Yeah, I think that's a really good, and I'm sure you're going to get more into that as we go.
We're gonna, yeah.
But that's where you've seen that issue of controlling your life. So
I'm going to be meddling in people's life.
I love that.
That's what we're going to do. It's not really me. I hope God, the Holy Spirit, is going to do it, because He's meddled in my life.
Yeah.
So now we're just going to open it up to everybody.
Well, that's a very important point too, is the fact that you're doing it. You know, so it's not like you're standing up there saying and you and you and you.
No,
But yeah, I get that, and we will, as a congregation who follows you, will be inspired by watching your journey too. And so I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we talked about how devices can be distractions, can pull us away from the things that we're focusing on. We can be controlled by them. So we know that these devices, digital devices, can be detrimental to our walk with Christ.
Yeah. Can
they be helpful?
Yeah, they can be very helpful. So, we'll make that case, and again, it's just controlling, managing, and so you can, and we'll get into the details, but I'll give you a little heads up. Yeah. So you can use it to connect with people. Mm-hmm. We use it at the church to get the message out. Chip and Eric reading through the Bible has been a blessing to so many people, and they access that on their digital devices. Yeah. So they use it for good, and we use it for good. You can use it for God, use it for good, and then that connection piece with others is also important. But I think what's happening then outside of that is we go too far into that. We look to be soothed, and we can go down a whole trail. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into the topics.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give the leaders.
I'm in now.
Yeah, and I wrote them down. So week one, actually this Sunday, we'll talk about distractions.
Okay.
And so sitting at the feet of Master Teacher Jesus should be number one priority. And if anything takes away of that, which I think our digital devices do, then we got to make some changes. So the distractions, you got the funny clips of people on their phones and walking into a pond or a stop sign, and not so funny getting hit by cars. That's a thing, actually. They're thinking through that. Or even people driving and on their phones, and we do it, we see people do it, and we get mad and upset, but yet it happens and we get distracted, and there's danger with distraction.
Yeah.
There's danger. Week two, I'm going to talk about approval. A lot of times, especially with the social media side of our digital devices, we post things, we say things, we do things for approval.
Oh yeah.
And it's so addicting because we don't get a lot of the approval that we hope we get, but yet when we post something or picture something or say something or whatever it may be, we got that little like button.
We want people to like it.
Yeah, and the more likes, the better.
Yeah.
And again, is our approval from men or is it from God? What are we seeking there? Where's our heart? Week three, we're talking about the fear of missing out. And I think that's a lot of me.
FOMO.
Yeah. And I just learned that saying a few months ago, earlier this year, earlier last year, I learned that saying. But very interesting, the fear of missing out is like, what am I missing? What am I missing? And a lot of that's social media.
Sure.
And text too. Like, I don't like to turn off my phone because what if someone calls me? What if someone texts me? You know, but back in the day we had no worries with that. You know, but we're fear of missing out. Yeah. So where does faith come in? Where does trust and things like that come in? Oh, week 4 is I'm calling it harshness, being harsh.
Okay.
We can be very harsh when it comes to using our digital device. We think it's safe, but it can be very hurtful. We've been hurt by
keyboard confidence.
Yeah.
You know, where you don't have to say something face to face to somebody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like that. Keyboard confidence. Yeah.
I didn't make that up, to be clear.
Well, yeah. Well just
but you can say
pretend that you did. Yeah. Yeah, but we're so harsh when it comes to social media. We're harsh with text. We're harsh with emails. Or here's the thing: we don't mean to be harsh with text or emails.
Oh,
but people read a harshness that may not be there.
Yeah, because you can't hear the volume, tone, cadence of another person's voice through an email.
So using that just for like little quick I've been trying to be very informational. Sometimes it appears cold to people, but I've been trying to stay away from the conversational part of that, because then that's where you get into craziness, and just stick with information. Hey, see you at 11, or stuff like that.
Wow, he's mad at me.
Yeah, he's mad at me. And then the week 5, I'm calling it secrets, like secret sins.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the things that you do, whether it's spending too much money on your phone. It's really easy to do these days. Yeah, the one click, boom, boom. Or the sexual sins, that's very prominent on there, and kind of walking through that a little bit. Gambling is very easy on your phone now, and different things like that. So that will be week number 5.
And the other side of the approval is the envy too. Like that secret sin too. Like the other side of, I want everyone to approve of me.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to mention that. Yeah. The envy and the.
I know that was a big struggle for me. One of the reasons I dropped social media was I was seeing what was happening in everyone else's life. I'm seeing what they choose to show me about their life, which is a mess, as much a mess as my life.
Yeah, but just see the vacations.
It was like, right. I just see the great pictures.
The new cars.
Look at how good my kids are being. Look how good.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We know better, but it doesn't compute that way at first. We get jealous, we envy, we covet.
Yeah,
I think I am mentioning that.
I'm sure that you are, so I'm not trying to step on
so there's a little sneak peek.
That's awesome,
so man. You need to be a part of it. Your group needs to be a part of it. Highly recommend, teenagers, anybody college, it's just so important we start talking about this now.
Yeah. Well, because it's not getting better.
It's not getting better.
I mean, their devices are just creeping in more and more and more and more and more.
Right.
They're becoming more personal.
And I'm going to make this point on Sunday. So we like progression, but we're seeing this progression with all these digital devices, and that's pretty cool. But with progression can come regression of the heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what we're seeing. So all this stuff seems good, and we can use it for good. Yet if we don't check our heart, we can go backwards.
Yeah,
and get sucked into it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing this with me and with our leaders. And
thank you.
Thank you guys for what you're doing in your groups.
Thank you over there. Yeah, that's right. Don't forget that.
You.
Yeah, hey, Mom.
That's
right.
So, all right. Well, take care, groups. Yep.
Hey, we appreciate you leading your groups. Keep it going. And we're going through May. You can meet in the summer with the group you want, but take time off, do something different with your group, and just here and there. And we were going to regroup in September. But we've got a few more months left with your group. So keep meeting, keep connecting, doing life together. And we're very proud of you, very grateful for what you're doing.
Yeah, we sure are. All right, guys. See you later.
Okay.